Hey everybody, this is my first YouTube video, so hopefully it's all going to run smoothly. Basically, I just wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about Asperger syndrome, and so I'm hoping, obviously if you're interested about it, you know what the condition's all about. It affects everyone differently and on all different levels. Basically, with me, it affects me in so many different ways, and it happens 24/7 that it affects me, or for every time that I'm awake. Basically, it's I don't want to create a bad perception of it because I think it's a good thing and it's something that should be embraced, but it's really my life every day is ridiculed with panic attacks, some extreme phobias. There's also a lot of trouble in trying to make friends. A lot of the time, you feel like you're alone. Um, so many different things can happen when you've got the condition, and what happens for me a lot basically is I have a lot of trouble taking in instructions and being able to process that quickly on the spot in my brain. It's just something that I can't seem to be able to manage. Like in my job, that requires a high lot of attention to detail and strong concentration, and sometimes there are things that I don't have, and sometimes it's like you try so hard to do what you do or what you've been hired to do, and it's management just don't care, and they just basically walk all over you and treat you like crap simply because you can't do the job, and they think you're lazy, and it's not because you are lazy, it's because you just have so much trouble in trying to comprehend instructions. There's a couple of instances this week when I was at work where I feel really confident about what I do, and I know that I was doing a task correctly, and obviously I wasn't because I got pulled up about it on several occasions, but to have to turn around to your manager and ask the same question up to 10, maybe 20 times can get so embarrassing, and all they do is look at you as if to say, what are you, dumb or stupid or something? So that's one aspect that I have. I think there's a lot of people that are aware of the condition, but they don't make any sort of concerted effort to try and understand it. I know with an old flatmate of mine, he deliberately used to go over the edge just to try and bring on a panic attack because he thought it was funny. One major phobia that I have is I can't stand vomit. It's just completely grosses me out. I can't look at it, I can't see it. If I know someone's going to be sick, I have to be completely out of the room. I'm a sympathetic vomiter, and if I know someone's going to be sick, I'll do the same. And my flatmate, just to annoy the crap out of me, deliberately drank expired orange juice one day, which was 4 days off. He deliberately drank it and made himself sick for about 3 or 4 hours, basically to go, see, it's not so bad, and then he used to have a good laugh at it. One other thing with Asperger syndrome is that a lot of people with the condition had a lot of trouble through high school or through school in general in trying to make friends and all that kind of stuff. I didn't have any, basically, and it wasn't until after I left high school that I actually learned what true friends are. And during high school, it was always often difficult to try and present assignments, and there would be some things that you were really, really bad at that you could not get your head around, and it didn't matter how many times people tried to explain it, you couldn't get it. But then there were other topics that you would just be absolutely fascinated with, and you would excel so well in that to other people it would seem extremely complicated, but to you it's simple and it would be black and white. I was exceptionally good at history during high school, and I know in grade 9 it was the only subject that I could get an A plus in. And even to this day, I can still sit there and give you the whole time frame basically of World War One, World War Two, and even part of the history of the Gulf War. And yet people would make deliberate fun of you just because you didn't know how to look at them in the eye, or you didn't know how to kick a soccer ball, or things like that. And it was, you'd always get bullied so much, and every day I used to get beat up all the time, and I could never understand why, because I never went out of my way to hurt anybody, I never went out of my way to be awful or mean, and yet it was like you used to get beat up every day just simply because you breathed. And when you're faced with that all the time, it gives you such a low self-esteem. But I certainly like to think that I've gotten somewhat better at it. There's so many things to say about how the condition affects people, but I'm not going to bore you too much with it. So I just really want to focus on what pretty much happened at school when I was in grade 9, and I used to have a lot of trouble, obviously, in making friends and trying to go to parties and stuff. That so many times I'd go home, and after copping a beating for no reason whatsoever, I'd go home and I'd cry and I'd bawl my eyes out, etc. And I look at it now and I think, well, there was no reason to cry because I never did anything wrong in the first place. If I knew then what I know now, things would certainly be different. But, you know, you used to get in trouble all the time. I get beaten up simply because you are who you are. You know, you walk past someone in the street who might have one leg or one arm, or, you know, you walk past a black person. I mean, a normal person in their right mind is not going to make fun of someone who's black because they didn't wake up in the morning and decide that they were going to be that skin colour. You know, a person with Asperger syndrome didn't wake up that day and decide that they were going to have a mild form of autism. And so many people are ignorant in terms of that. And so everything got so bad at one stage where you pretty much just want to end it. And at the time, that was definitely the right decision. Felt like the right decision to do. And it wasn't just to put an end to all the pain, it was to get revenge, basically. And I wanted people that I went to school with to stand back and go, whoa, look at what we've done, we've put someone in their grave. And I even wrote a letter, and at the end of that letter it said, well, now that I'm gone, my blood is on your hands. And although that sounds cruel and nasty, I'm glad that I never did it, because I wouldn't be here now trying to tell other people about the condition. And I just want people to realise that even if you've got it, it doesn't matter who you are or what you look like or how it affects you or how ignorant someone is going to be towards you because of it. Don't be ashamed of it, because it is a very unique individual thing, and the condition affects different people on so many different levels. And the only thing that I ever want the world to do is to have a bit more of an understanding and realise that if I'm acting indifferent or I seem strange, just be patient, because it doesn't mean that I'm dumb or that I'm stupid. And don't try and hurt someone that's got the condition, because even if you bring a tear to their eye, you might not have realised it, but you might have done a lot more damage than what you think you have done. Alright, that's it. Bye for now, and I'll be back with a few more stories later on.